go and put goats on a site that has a federally endangered species, I'd probably fill out an inch of paperwork and still may not even be able to do it. So it's not something, I work with the federally endangered species on a wildlife area, and it's
So
hard.
what is the timeline? How long are the goats going to be up there?
They'll be there all summer. They'll be in, we're set up paddocks, and then we'll rotate them through paddocks. So it's a high intensity, short rotation grazing, so that we get them to target the brush species. Because if you leave them in there long enough, they'll eat whatever's there, grasses and flowers. Their preference is brush. So we will. It will take them about 3, maybe 4 days to graze an acre. And I estimate the size of Robinson to be about 50 acres if you include the slope. And so that's about 150 days, give or take.
So how many goats are?
We'll have 63 goats on Robinson, and I think he's got roughly the same number for the Rushford bluff. And if he needs to modify that, he may bring a few more out if they're not eating through fast enough, but probably not. And then the next time through, because this is a 2-year project, we want to graze it for 2 years. And the next time through, probably fewer goats, more than likely.
So what happens if they get out?
We haven't had problems at other sites. My concern is more kids playing jokes and letting them out of the fence. So we'll be checking the fences, the contractor will be checking it, and then he's gonna hire a local person to check the fences. The first week, we'll have some issues with wildlife, particularly deer. They don't realize the fence is there and they'll knock it down, and so they'll be out here regularly for that first week. And then after that, usually even when the fence is knocked down, the goats don't eat because they've got stuff to eat. But then as they eat the food in the paddock, when it gets close to ready to move them, they can start pushing the fence, and so that's when we start monitoring more closely. The contractor has meets state insurance requirements, so they have $1 million occurrence if there's an accident or some damage. We haven't had any problems at the Houston site, but it's not in city limits, so it's a little different situation.
I've seen you do these outside of town, but how, is this the first one you're doing in
This
town or
this
next to
company,
town?
for me it is, for the company it's not. They did a grazing project in downtown Madison, Wisconsin, and the biggest problem they had is people calling and saying that, you know, this goat's not eating, or this goat's limping, or this goat, you know, they're fighting, which they ram each other, and that's what they do. So they had more issues with people calling, not so much. And I thought they would have problems with people letting them out, and they didn't have any problems with that, but I don't know. They're probably not as used to farm animals in town here, you know, people are more used to farm animals, and I just think it's fun. Maybe we won't have any problems, that'd be great.
I'm familiar with goats. They are nosy.
Yeah,
They're in everything.
yeah,
I used to have some.
yeah.
It take long to get rid of them. Give them away.
So you could have been contracting on this.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity there, Roger.
That was 30 years ago.
So the contractor has a liability policy. How does the state, how does the city?
The city's
You
not
mean
liable, it's our
covered.
project, and so it's the
It's our
state,
land.
but it's the state's responsibility. You're giving me permission to work on your land. It's the same as private landowners. If something happens on private land, it's the state's responsibility because it's our project.
And that was part of, that has all been signed off as part of the history
Yep.
on this restoration project?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the same deal we have with your firm.
Yep, yep. The state, we're responsible for, if we come on the land and do something, if I go on Moccasin Bluff and I fall and break my ankle, it's the state's responsibility. So, and they meet the state insurance requirements are pretty high.
Yeah, yep.
I did flag the bluff today. The plan is that the contractor was out today, checking the site, getting ready. They'll probably start putting fence on Rushford Bluff tomorrow, and they may bring goats later in the day tomorrow, and then the plan was for Thursday, to put the fence in on Moccasin and bring goats on Thursday. Yep, so we have a portable tank and a portable mineral, and so we have water, I work with Jeff to get water on top of Mollison, and then there's a hydrant at the base of Rushford Bluff that, we'll be able to get water from. He said that, on the Houston site, which is a little bit bigger than these sites, they had a few more goats, they had to fill the tank about 3 times in the season, they don't use a lot of water. So, and it's about a 250-gallon tank.
In the paddocks, Jamie, will they run up and down the hill, basically, and then just keep moving
Yes,
from the west to the east?
I'm not sure which side he's gonna start on, but yeah, they'll just move. And then, the one on Mollison might be more like pie-shaped because of, where to put the water and have a hose that can reach to fill in the tank, but, and then the goal is to rotate them through that twice. And sometimes what happens at the end of the season, they'll merge one paddock, and so each paddock will have been gone through twice, but one might end up being a bigger paddock in the end, just to, there's not as much sprout back when they graze it a little later in the season. I've gotten one call from a landowner, just concerned about water for the goats. I haven't had anybody else call me with any concerns after the letter went out, so I don't know if you've had any complaints or.
I don't know of any, have we gotten anything that you know of, Kathy?
Just comments like that, well, how are they gonna get water, what if they get out and eat my flowers, things like that.
The contractor did say that when they get out, they tend to go up, rather than come down, but.
What, out of curiosity, what good are these goats for other than eating this brush? That their whole life is just eating
They're
brush?
also, meat goats, and
Oh, they
so the
are.
company does sell them for, meat, as a side business to call the herd. 'Cause, the goats that'll be on the bluff are Spanish Board, Kiko, and some crosses, and there'll be, all adult females, and then some of the young will be, billies, but there'll be no adult billies. They don't keep any of the billies, just a few for breeding.
We sent this letter out just to make sure that the folks that live along the block had an idea what was going on.
The distance that you try to keep from the backyards of the people's on, people on
I
Stevens Avenue?
put some flagging up there, and I told, in the letter, it says that the landowner, if they see the flagging, can move it up or down if they want, but not to move the fence because it's electrified, but if they want it moved, to let me know. But I tried to leave a buffer, because it's hard to tell exactly where the property lines are, and so I tried to make sure that even though it's not native, brush, I still tried to leave a buffer so that a view from someone's backyard wouldn't change, unless they wanted to. Because most of what's down along the edge of the bluff is honeysuckle when I walk it today. Unfortunately, there's some garlic mustard moving in, that would be down closer to somebody's property. I got some of it included, because the goats will eat that, but in order to get it all in, I'd have to go right up to somebody's backyard.
Will they eat the Canadian thistles?
They'll eat the thistles,
Good.
yeah. They like thorny
Because if they don't eat it, I'm gonna kill it with Roundup.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah, okay, I'm a landowner, I'm an affected landowner,
Okay.
and I may adjust your ribbons in the area of my backyard.
Yep, that'd be fine. Yeah, I don't have a
And I
problem.
would just be moving it up the hill maybe 100 feet.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
I'll probably bring it down 100 feet on the mine, so
Most,
we'll balance out.
you've got,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a lot of buckthorn,
Yeah.
right in your backyard, right above your wall there.
I used, pink flagging, and so I try to make it so they can follow the line, so if you need to break the flagging up just so they can kind of see where they're going, especially if it makes some funny jogs, but Jesse Bennett, who's the contractor, knows that the flag might move, and so if it looks funny, then there's a reason why it looks funny.